Yeah, and I think this is something I'd like to bring up at this point too, and I believe that we mentioned this in the other 2 episodes, but it's worth mentioning hydrogen gas is not a bad thing in the gut.
Yes.
It's not evil, it's not intrinsically bad. If you have a little bit of hydrogen gas production in the gut, I wouldn't really sweat it. The thing is, it's part of a cross-feeding relationship. So one type of bacteria or numerous types of bacteria will make hydrogen, and then other organisms like methanogens and the hydrogen sulfide producers will gobble up that hydrogen, and then they will make another metabolite, and then probably methane and hydrogen sulfide are part of another cross-feeding relationship and are feeding some other microbe. So it's like, hydrogen is a normal part of the ecosystem. It's just if you have too much of it, or if you have too much of it in the wrong location, it can make you feel pretty craptacular. But don't ever go into a SIBO protocol thinking, oh my God, I have to eradicate it, annihilate it, sterilize it, kill all of it, starve it all, like guerrilla warfare. The goal is not to sterilize your small intestine. The goal is just to bring everything back in balance so that you don't feel blech.
Yeah.
That's the whole goal.
Right.
Balance so you don't feel blech. There, I just summarized it.
Whoa.
On the podcast.
Nikki, you're onto something. I will say too, you had mentioned this in the methane podcast, and I just wanted to bring it up. Methane levels tend to correspond with severity. So if you have high methane, there's typically you're going to have more severe constipation, more severe issues. Whereas I feel like, again, hydrogen's not as much like that. And I do find that practitioners will still be like, whoa, these are the highest levels I've ever seen, and freak you out when you're going to your doctor and make it feel like it's such an uphill battle.
This is going to take forever. I might not ever heal from this. Right. You know what, honestly, why I think a lot of practitioners do that, to be quite honest. And again, I'm going to call shit on my own profession here. It's because they want people to buy into the process. I think going back to, I agree with you. I don't think my treatment of hydrogen-based SIBO is typically that much different than other SIBO, because killing the thing that is overgrown ends up being a relatively small part of the treatment in my experience. So it's like, I think that in the internets, there's all of this focus and all of this talk on all of the forums, all of the summits, probably other blogs, I don't even know, and certainly blog posts and social posts where it's like, oh, you have to do this antimicrobial for this type of SIBO and this one, Allison only for methane and berberine for, well, I guess you could use berberine for either, but you get my drift.
Right.
And it's like, if the bulk of your treatment is focused on killing shit, then the mechanism by way you kill the shit becomes very important.
And I just, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but it's the easier part.
Yeah.
People always make it out in their head, oh, it's the hardest thing is clearing it. And I'm like, that's the easy part. Figuring out the mechanisms underlying your SIBO and addressing those is the much harder work. And there's so much less focus on the rebuilding and repairing of the mechanisms and so much focus on clearing stuff with such disregard of the ecology being delicate. And I will say too, I think, and I know you agree with me because we've talked about it a lot, but the fact that we are so... Wait, what?
I said, but do you know?
Yes. I
don't know. I agree with you.
I don't know. You'll have to tell me if you agree or not. But I think that, those strategies don't work.
Not for most people.
The clearing, the overkilling, I think, is why SIBO gets to be chronic.
Mm-hmm.
Is just because you've depleted your microbiome over and over and over again. Going on herbs for really strong herbs for 6 months, is still going to be damaging, even though they're herbs. And again, herbs can be very useful if they're used therapeutically, but it's like the overused and abused style of clearing things from a SIBO standpoint it's very frustrating for me, because I'm sure most you agree with this too, or I don't know if you do. You have to tell me, but now that you're giving me some sass. But with the people that come to us, they've been feeling this for so long of, I have to clear it. And again, you've cleared it probably, or cleared a whole bunch. Maybe focus more on the rebuilding and repair is where you're going to get more of the benefit than just continuing down the clearance road. And I think that's a hard mental shift to make. But it's a really good one to make from what I've seen working with clients, is that shift from clearance to actually rebuilding and acknowledging that there's such a delicate ecology in the gut, and to be mindful of that before jumping into more clearing and killing and starving.
Yeah, well, and we've talked about this before, but there's a growing body of evidence that SIBO is not really SIBO, it's SIMD. Right? It's small intestinal microbial dysbiosis.
Right.
There might be an increased quantity, but that's probably not the primary issue. And that's probably not the primary driver of symptoms. It's the dysbiosis. So then... Hey guys, if you like this video, be sure to subscribe, ring the bell, click the like button, and leave a comment down below with the videos that you would like to see me do next. Doing all of those really helps support the channel and support my efforts in making as many videos as possible for you guys. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next video.